Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Bolt and today we're taking a look at the Transformers Age of the Primes Combaticon Vortex, which is a figure I'm very much looking forward to reviewing today because I have a lot of love for Vortex. Excuse me. Getting into the box obviously, as we can see. Very nice Transformers on the front, Combaticon Vortex, Age of the Primes. Very nice art of the character on top here. 105, 19 steps. On the side, Bruticus, 105. On the back is, you have the figure photographies and all that jazz. Again, 105, Vortex, figure itself, legal bits and bobs. On the side here is the Age of Primes gimmick here. Obviously, Primes are the main focus here. At the bottom, legal bits and bobs. On the top, Combaticon Vortex. A pretty standard box. I would like to say, actually, on the note of the box, for a quick comparison, let's move that back a bit. With Legacy, there's definitely a difference between style-wise. This is more like bold in design. This is a bit more, reminds me a bit more of like Masterpiece, a bit more luxury, a bit more like minimalist, which I like them both. But there's definitely a difference between how we're doing things this time around. So let's put the box aside for the time being, and we'll take a look at the figure that was inside. And here we have the figure in its ultimate mode. Now, I must admit, I'm not too big of a fan of Vortex's like grey and blue colour scheme, but this figure is really nice. I may be a bit biased because, favourite character, but, here this is really nice combiner. Combiner part even, should I say. Getting into detail, very nice, like, sculpted detailing all across this figure. I mean, the little wheels and, like, the door panels. This looks really nice, like, for 25 quid. This is very nice. As I say, this is nice, like, metallic grey, which, obviously, as I say, not too big of a fan of, but on this figure, it does look quite nice. The blue here, it, like, goes up a bit, stops here, goes a bit more, and then nothing for the rest of it. I don't know if that's accurate, but it is a bit of a weird choice, in my opinion. Another weird choice is obviously gaps here on both sides. I know that's for the transformation, but does leave a bit of a hole. And also that's clearly just the head of the figure. I would have preferred a bit of a slope here, but £25, you can't have miracles in this guy. On the back, you can see a bit of hand. On the bottom, again, 25 quid. What can you do? On the side, little bits and bobs. The top has a spinning. That's quite my finger. Can't be. There we go. That's more like it. But a nice spinning propeller blade. Love to see it on Vortex. Same with the little, not as much spin here, but still goes, as all spinning things should. Just a really nice, solid helicopter mode with a couple of gripes. Putting the figure down for a second, we'll bring in the previous Vortex, Combiner Wars. And not quite Vortex, but Robots in Disguise Rotor. Same mold, just different colours, so you can see how they pair out together. You can definitely see a lot of this figure here in this original one, and you can also see the jump in Combiner Wars to Age of Primes. So we'll get these two out of the way, and we shall take a look at the figure's robot mode. And here we have the figure in his robot mode. Now, you may be noticing that he's missing a little something, and that is his rotor blades, which are a movable piece. I'm going to show this off first because it is an absolute nightmare to deal with him. You can obviously take these off, and they can obviously go on his back, but also there's a little hole in the side of his arm there which they can plug into, like so. Gotta like figure out how we do this again. This is, I don't know if it's like any different on anyone else's, but my copy, this is a, there you go. These rotor blades are a bit of a nightmare, but yeah, you can hold them pretty well in his, well, looks pretty good. Reminds me a lot of like Full Salvage on Bruticus, who use them as like a weapon. Those look really nice there, but obviously, yeah, my preference is if I just take that back. Yeah, hang on. Gotta wiggle that off his arm. There we go. There we go, bring him back on camera. I prefer to just plug this into the little port there. Like so. Spread them out. And there we go, we have our completed Vortex look. And this guy, I know I said before that I don't really like the color scheme on this guy, but I must admit, it is starting to grow on me because of this figure. I mean, it is really nice, like, color contrast. I mean, ideally, if they were to remake this figure for, like, Gen Select or whatever, if that sort of thing, with the Combiner Wars slash G1 toy colors, my wallet would be empty the moment they release it, but yeah, focus on this figure now. Going into details, really nice, like black and grey, like metallic grey, as I said before. Not really too kibbly on the rover mode, except for the arms, which we'll get to in a second. No painted, nothing, no paint on the legs here, that's just blue plastic, but there's a bit on the crotch area here. Sort of similar with the chest here, it's just one painted bit of I think it's one painted bit of blue. I think it's might be some of the legs were just grey plastic, like metallic grey plastic, with little bits of paint apps all over. Some of the arms, only real bit of detailing on the arms other than nice sculpted is the con insignia there. And obviously you got to talk about this, which is, it leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, obviously this is no masterpiece figure, but that is a bit appalling. It's just this big like clump that just hangs off his forearm and gets in the way of the rotor blades a bit. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's hard to. I want to try defending this because I love Vortex, but that is pretty unexcusable. I mean, there should have been a better way to deal with this. I mean, considering how else the kibble is like incorporated into the mode, this is just a bit of a shocker. I mean, let's just bend the arm back up and just pretend it's not there. Head sculpt, bring that down. There we go. That is a really nice head sculpt, I think. Figure is going for like a G1 accurate look, and I think the head sculpt really does embody like like G1 cartoon Vortex. In terms of articulation, as you can see, bend at the knees, a bit of quite a big good pivot at the ankle there. Swivel at the thighs, same with the other leg. As we saw before, bend at the elbow, nothing at the wrist. In and out, up and down at the arm and the upper arm swivel. Bicep swivel, we should say. As you can see there, again, got that. Same with the other arm. Bit of a waist swivel there, quite a good waist swivel. I do worry about, this back bit here may get in the way of that sometimes, but it's not been something I've had personally. And as always, head on a ball joint. So lovely bit of articulation on this figure, but you can't have articulation and good posability, really, should I say, without some accessories. And obviously we saw the rotor at the back, but he comes with these 3 weapon pieces. There's 2 of these little like pistol pieces, which do plug into the head bit of the weapon mode. I didn't show it before, but these little nubs here clip into, like transform a bit to there. You can see these just plug into like that. Same with the other side. So just get that back into play. There we go. And there's this bigger rifle piece which looks quite nice. I don't know where it plugs into because it's got these 2 like ports here. I don't know where that plugs into on the vehicle mode, but in robot mode I just plug that into his hand like so. That's gonna sit in there, and these 2 weapon pieces look quite nice, just plugged into his forearms. That goes in there, and that goes in there, and that, I mean, this is meant to be like a special ops, hard unit. I mean, Combaticon is in the name, and when he's all weaponed up like this, he does look ready for warfare. Putting his weapons aside and bringing in the other Vortexes I have, we have obviously the Combiner Wars version to put him there. And because I don't actually own G1 Vortex, our stand-in is obviously Robertson Sky's Rotor. You can definitely see how this original figure has influenced both of these 2. More so the middle one than, Combiner Wars. And you can also see quite clearly, I think, how much of an upgrade this guy is compared to this guy. I mean, as I said before, if I could have, Age of the Primes with Combiner Wars colors, I would be golden. But I am really happy with how much this guy is such an upgrade from both his predecessors. And there we have it. My view of the Transformers Age of the Primes Combaticon Vortex, who obviously is part 1 of 5 of Age of the Primes Bruticus, who I'm very much gonna have to get and review on the channel because I love Bruticus, I love the Combaticons. And if this figure set any example, then those other 4 are going to be golden. Like, share, subscribe, hit those little buttons, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.